US moved to sanction 12 northern governors, judges, traditional rulers. The United States has begun a major push to sanction 12 northern governors, senior judges, and the prominent traditional rulers in Nigeria over alleged religious persecutions and what American lawmakers describe as a Christian genocide in the north. The move is tied to growing concern in Washington about religious freedom and the oppression of the Sharia and the blasphemy laws across several northern states. According to the US legislator, the targeted officials allegedly enabled or ignored attacks against Christians and other minority groups. The push comes under a proposed bill seeking punitive measure against public figures accused of encouraging religious intolerance. If passed, a sanction would include a visa ban, access freeze, and restrictions under American global human rights enforcement framework. The development followed a strong remark by US President Donald Trump, who recently insisted that thousands of Christians have been killed in Nigeria. Trump says American authorities must act immediately and directed congressional leaders to investigate the matter. He urged lawmakers to hold those responsible accountable without delay. At the center of the controversy is the Nigerian Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025, sponsored by Senator Ted Cruz. The bill brands Nigeria as a country of particular concern and demands a penalty for officials said to have promoted, enacted, or maintained blasphemy law. The legislature also seeks to monitor states where Sharia criminal code remains in force. The affected states include Zamfara, Kano, Sokoto, Katsina, Bauchi, Borno, Jigawa, Kebbi, Yobe, Kaduna, Niger, and Gombe. However, Kwara, Kogi, Plateau, Benue, Nasarawa, Taraba, and Adamawa still operate under the conventional secular legal system, with the Sharia limited only to personal status matters. A critic of the bill says Washington is oversimplifying complex security issues. Nigerian officials insist the country does not persecute Christians and argue that insecurity in the north stems largely from terrorism, banditries, and a criminal network, not religious policy. Authorities maintain that Sharia applies only to Muslims, that the Constitution Court can overturn Sharia judgment when necessary. Tension around the issues intensified after the US threats to halt aids and even hinted at a possible military intervention if alleged killing continue. A senior U.S. official also declared that the American government is prepared to kill the Islamic terrorists if Nigeria fails to protect Christian citizens. The presidency has confirmed that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will meet Donald Trump soon to address the allegation and strengthen counter-terrorism cooperation. Federal government officials said that the talk will provide clarity and ensure the U.S. receives accurate information about violence in Nigeria. Diplomatic and security experts warn that a sanction could affect access to U.S. military equipment, intelligence sharing, and the foreign aid. They also argue that Nigeria must address the long-standing concern about mob killings, religious tension, and the weak persecutions in blasphemy-related cases. However, some people noted that both Muslims and the Christian communities in Nigeria have suffered brutal attacks from extremist groups over the years, especially in the northeast, northwest, and the north-central region. Recall that in May 2022, the killings of Deborah Samuel in Sokoto over alleged blasphemy sparks national outrage and a global reaction, prompting calls for stronger legal protections and faster justice for victims of religious violence.